What's up guys, welcome to the video. Now before I get straight into it, I just want to say one thing. Make sure you go follow out my mate's Instagram page known as Matt_Sachin_photography. What you'll find on this Instagram page is awesome Australian based photography and inspirational quotes and captions along with those photos. Now the photos are really professionally taken and I would love to see him get some exposure, and I'm sure that he would love to see himself grow as a photographist in the community. So that'll be great if you could drop him a follow. Let's see if we can get him to 200 followers. I know that would mean a lot to myself and him also, so thank you so much. Even if we get him one extra follower, that would mean a lot. Thank you guys so much. Let's get straight into it.
Now I'm walking in the sun. It's a new way.
What's up guys, welcome to Ace Designs 107. I'm Yes and Carpack and you're the kings and queens. Now today what for you guys is a Photoshop and Cinema 4D tutorial showing you how you can make your own Twitter header. Now this tutorial will be applied to Photoshop banners. If you want to go ahead and make your own Photoshop banner with this same type of style, you can. You just need a Photoshop banner template. That's all you need. The difficulty for this tutorial will be 4 out of 5 stars. It is quite difficult actually, and the duration I would say it would take you 40 minutes. Now everything that you need for this tutorial will be in the description below for you to download, such as stock images, the final PSD, everything like that will be in the description below. And also make sure you go check out my mate's Instagram page. A link will be down there also below. Thanks guys, let's get straight into it. So in Cinema 4D, I have gone ahead and made a setup for you, and all you have to do is just go down in the description below. There'll be a link saying Cinema 4D setup download or some tutorial assets download. Just go click on that link and you'll get to download this, and then you'll just open this up. So this Lightroom has been all pre-made for you, and it's got some good little textures that you can use. Now for the actual textures that I'm going to be using, like the actual colors that I will be using for today's tutorial, I'm going to be using red on the top and blue on the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So we are going to go into this texture, go to edit, and I'm just going to change this color to a nice little red. Wrong one. I'm going to edit this one. Edit, click on my color, and then go to red. Alrighty, sweet. And then I'm going to go to this one, my blue, and right click, go to edit, and just keep that a blue actually. Now I'm going to preview this render. Hopefully this is still turning out as a really nice render even with a different color, and yes it is, but this S is like, there's not enough shadows on this side. So we are going to try and fix that up by taking off a light. Maybe this one, but let's just turn down the opacity, the intensity of this one, so I can just get those shadows on and see that G a little bit more. So that is popping up really nicely, and all the other words I really do like. Ace Design, Creative Designer, yep. But I'm actually going to change this last text to YouTube Director. YouTube Director. Is that how you spell director? I'm pretty sure. No, it isn't. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. Nah, I'm a smart kid. Okay, so there we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and save this one here. There you go, I've saved that one, but I'm just going to do render 2. And just press save on that one. And the outputs, just keep all the same settings like I did in the template for you guys, and just click this little button here. It's going to go ahead and render that one out. So there, that's how you edit the template. Now I've shown you, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So the next step of the tutorial is to open up Photoshop once this render has been finished, and we are going to go ahead and start editing this into a header template. And yeah, the reason why I do YouTube Twitter headers is it gives me more room to do the desired effect for the tutorial. That's why I'm leaning more towards the YouTube header templates in this actual like tutorials, because of, yeah, like what I said before, I have more room to do what I can. So go to File, New, and do the width for this one 1500, and the height's going to be 500. Now I'm going to actually bump up the resolution to 300 just to make it nice and crisp. So now I've got my YouTube template Twitter header here. I'm just going to press File, Save As, and save this into my allocated area. So this is going to be named as Twitter header, and I'm going to save this as the final countdown. Nah, I'm joking. Final PSD, and press save. Alright, so we're gonna go to File, Open, and grab up our paper stock. Again, there'll be a description, there'll be a link in the description below for tutorial assets. Just click on that, and then you'll be able to have this one here. Okay, so that's actually not looking too bad. Again, I was complaining about the stock because of there's too much wrinkles on here. I actually personally don't really like that. But now once you resize it and like smooth those wrinkles out, I really do think that's looking quite good. So I'm just going to reposition it so we have the lines somewhat what we like. Like that, looks pretty good. And then we are going to go ahead and bring in our render, which I'm hopeful that it is done. Yes, it is. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this one into this document. Press Ctrl T, zoom out. For now, press Alt Shift and resize that one there. Okay, so again, the shadows aren't as nice as I would like them. But I guess this is just a tutorial, so that's what we're going to float with. So I'm just going to press Ctrl T, resize that one like that. Then I'm going to right click and do Convert to Smart Objects. So then I can change this render however I really like, to be honest. So I'm just going to rotate this probably minus 5 degrees. That's a bit too much, minus 3 degrees. Okay, and press Ctrl T, resize this one. Something like that. Press Ctrl A and center that one. So let me show you what a smart object does. So once you just double click on the smart object thumbnail, you can bring in your other render and simply replace it. So with this yellow one, right, I can press Ctrl T and bam, I have replaced that render. I can press yes to save that, and then we have replaced that on the same angle and everything. So if we have effects applied over our render and things like that, it's really easy to fix it up. You know, we can go ahead and change it and everything. So that's one way you can make really easy templates yourself if you're ever wondering that. But I'm actually just going to keep the red one for now, press yes, and then we have something like this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do some little edits on here. So I'm going to make a new layer, right? Press on my magic wand tool, and hopefully I can get a selection of just the C layer here. But that's alright, that's enough. Now I'm going to press B for my brush tool and do the size of this brush 100. And I am going to do the softness, make sure its hardness is 0. Now I'm going to press Ctrl Shift I, and on my new layer, I'm just going to simply just do some little edits like this, and then erase what I have done here. And then on this layer, I can just lower the opacity, and that is making the C stand out more prominent, you could say. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to go here, press save, and then there it's automatically updated that in our new document. Okay, so the next part of the tutorial that I'm going to be doing is doing the effects for this, you know, text. So I'm going to rename this to text, 3D text render, just to keep everything nice and ordered. And this is going to be paper texture. Now I'm going to actually lower the opacity on this paper texture just a little, so it's a bit more bright and everything, but we're still keeping the lines very prominent. Then the next step that I'm going to do is, I actually really don't like this color, like I just don't. So I'm gonna do the yellow. Okay, so that's nice. Alright, so now that I've got that out of my way, I'm going to, what I'm gonna do first, I'm going to do the, like, behind the text and everything, get the background sorted. Okay, so in the description below, there'll be assets, download, whatever you need for this tutorial will be there. So we're going to go to our brush tool, go to this little cogwheel and do load brushes. Now in that download, I've given you guys a brush set, wax crayon texture brush. Instead of giving the link online, I'll just give it down there. And then you just simply click on that and it's going to give you all these awesome textures for crayons. So then when we actually go ahead and draw, so let's just say we wanted to do some scribbles in the background, we can do that, so yeah. But I wanted this to be like a really smooth, so something like this. If we go to our brush settings, file, brush, and we do the size like this, but the spacing I want 1000%. Window, brush, and we can go ahead and edit the, you know, brush settings or whatever you'd like to call them. So I'm going to do the angle 180. I need to get these like into a flowing pattern, you almost can say. And we'll get something like that. Now we'll do the scattering, you know, a little bit of scatter towards the brush style, because of this is like, this is supposed to be hand drawn, so you know, it has to have a little bit of what it's called, variety, you know, it can't be a perfect shape. So size jitter, let's do something really something like that, minimum diameter, and then do the angle and the roundness. I think we'll keep like that. So there now you know how you can edit your own brush, and then you can go ahead and just draw in the background. But before we do that, we're just going to be doing the regular brush. So we're going to go ahead and grab this circle and do the size for it, let's say 400, and simply click once, change the opacity, and it's just going to give this picture a little bit of a foreground instead of dropping a drop shadow on this texture. Okay, now I'm going to change the size of this brush, do some little shading here, just to make sure that the viewer can see that the text is actually there. Alright, so the next thing that we are going to do is what it's called, mind blank. Grab up our text tool. So press T on your keyboard, and we are going to be coloring with the same like bright color that's on this one. So we're going to do C for here, but we're going to be using the same text. So I use Typography Pro for this 3D render, so that's what I'm going to get. Extra bold, click that and get something like this. Okay, I'm going to make sure that this is a slightly bigger one like that. And I'm going to press Ctrl T and just resize this one, something like that. Okay, you can't really see anything now, but now when I go to the blending options, do color overlay. Pick the same yellow, but do like a different one now. And do this one normal, opacity 100. You can actually just see that like now coming through. So now if I press Ctrl T, you know, resize this one. It doesn't really look that good on the C, so what I'm going to do is make it an E. something like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to File, Open, and bring up my tape stock. So this is sticky tape stock here, and if I do something like this, overlay it onto this, then we get like a really like nice little, you know, craft effect. So I'm actually going to change this one to here so I can see that sticky tape a bit more. Something like that, and I can press Ctrl J on the sticky tape, resize, rotate it around, and get it on this side. Okay, something like that is looking pretty good. And then we are going to press Ctrl J on this E because we want the same color, and bring it over here and do a different, you know, letter. So we're going to do N for this last one, and I'm going to resize this one, something like that. And for this one, it's going to be smaller. Something like that. And gonna bring back on that tape stock and resize it to something like that. I'm going to erase that area because of, you know, it's going too far on the text, and then just bring that one in. Like that. Erased some of the text like that, and I'm actually going to bring in one more just because like that's what I'm feeling. Like that. So that's like something that I like quite a lot, and that's what I'm going to do. So then after I have done that, what we can do is do something with this R. So with my 3D text render, I can't edit it here, but I can once I double click in here back again. So I'm actually going to take away some of this R by pressing on my razor tool. But with the type of the eraser, I'm going to be using a brush stock. So I have this like brush stocks here. I don't have like the link or anything for it, but what you can do is just go onto the internet and, you know, find some nice little stock on there. So then we are going to simply start to erase some of the stock, but this brush stock. Okay, something like that. And for the size of this is way too large, so I'm going to do 250. Something that would be that. Okay, so then I'm going to erase some of the text like that, and press yes to save that. Okay, so then you can see that we have like affected that. So now I'm going to make a new layer now, and then I'm going to go press B for my brush tool. And this is where it gets a little bit difficult because you have to freehand stuff, but that's where the cool little effect comes from. So the size of this brush, I'm going to do 2. So it's going to be really small. Hardness is 0. So we get something like that. Maybe 3. And the color, I'm going to do black. So this is going to come out really, you know, thing. So we're going to zoom into this one. Now, if you had a graphics tablet, this would be an awesome time to pop it out. But basically what we're going to do is we're just going to try and, you know, freehand this thing like this. So then once we have done those outlines, I'm going to just go to that layer and do a little drop shadow and just bump down the size, opacity, something like that. So there, we've got something like that. So it just looks like we have, you know, something really cool. Alright, so then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and take a little bit of more off that E. So that's what I'm going to do. One click there. Bam, that's going. And then I'm going to bring in my rope texture. So I have a rope one here. And I'm going to bring this onto my document and press Ctrl T. And just resize this one. Actually, we need something really large, so that is why I got a high resolution photo. Okay, so I'm going to simply use my eraser tool and take away all this part of the rope, because that's what I don't need currently. I just need this loop for now, and then I can Photoshop my own little loop into things. So that's what all I need currently. I'm actually going to just simply cut this off there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this loop fall under here. It's a simple like technique. It's not too hard. So I'm going to press my eraser tool, grab up the size, you know, smaller than the loop in the text, and just simply erase some of that. Okay, and then go to my rope, press B on my brush tool, make a new layer, and control click the brush, and we are going to hardness 0, size 20. And something like that. Press Ctrl D to deselect, do the color overlay, and bring this one just above. Okay, so our tape is here, and this is just going to be taped letters. This one's going to be rope. Okay, so we've got that rope sorted. But I don't like one thing. This is a bit too strong. And that's rope. Taped letters. Okay, great. So now I'm just going to Photoshop back on that end. So it's pretty simple. Just going to drag this onto here, something like that. Press Ctrl D to deselect. Press Ctrl T, I mean. Vertical flip this, try and get an end that will work. Okay, resize this one to something like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And merge these ones together. And I might press Ctrl U, bring up the lightness a little bit so it matches the same color like that. And on this rope layer, I'm just going to do some little bit blending so they look the par. And then on this new layer, just going to bring up the size of my eraser tool and find a nice little end where I can cut this one off. So I'm going to merge these two together. Press Ctrl T, do wrap, and I can't. Ah, yeah, so it just goes past there. Alright, great. That's a good little option. Well, just with my eraser tool, I'm just going to go through here and clean up this edge. Okay, great. Something like that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Press Ctrl T, do wrap. Just going to bring that into that. Okay, sweet. Okay, and then Control click this again, make a new layer. And I will bring up one of my brush stocks and do the size for this one 300. And do some shading. So there we go. Press Ctrl T. We'll just move this one down a little bit. Look as if it's a part of the rope. And then there we go. So we got that rope in there. Now I'm actually going to merge all these together and change the hue of this one to something not too strong. So something like that. And do the lightness right up. Something like that. Okay. And we have this now. Sorry guys, this is just like everything like this. Now I'm going to right click and go to my drop shadow and do a drop shadow over this stuff. So I'm going to do something like that and do distance like this, so it's got like an angle towards the drop shadow. So it's just giving some really nice dimensions towards the image. Okay, sweet. And then I'm going to right click, do rasterize layer style, and I'm going to take away some of this drop shadow that goes over this T because of we want to show that it ends there. So there we go. That is that, and it's given some more dimension towards the document. So then I'm going to bring in my eraser stock because of eraser stationery that you see on the table all the time. Now I think it's my downloads and I don't want to show you pictures that are in my downloads. So there we go. And bring this one into here, press Ctrl T, hold Shift and resize this one. Move it in like this. Now once we got that sorted, then we're just going to press Ctrl J to sharpen this one right up because it is a very soft stock. Press Ctrl E on all those sharpens. Might delete, you know, a couple. Okay. Right click, go to my blending options, do a drop shadow. Something like that. So it's giving some more 3D towards that rubber. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and do a new layer under all of these. I'm going to press U on my keyboard actually, and this is going to bring up the shape tool. So with the shape tool, I'm going to do a pinkish color like this and just drag out a rectangle for now. And with this rectangle, I'm going to press Ctrl D, resize this one, something like that. And do the size of it 3. And with the stroke, it's not like 100% opacity. So what's going on here? Oh, it's because it's over the, it has to be over the everything else. Something like that. I'm actually going to change the stroke size to that, and I'm going to do it a lighter color, in fact. Something like that, but a little bit more lighter. Okay, so it's just a little bit more easier on the eyes. Like, it's still there for the effect and everything, just, you know, a lot less prominent. That's the word. So there we go. We've got the text, we've got the rope, everything like that. I'm actually just going to press Ctrl T on this rope, do a wrap, and bring this one down. Something like that. Do a wrap again, bring this one up to something like that, and take away that shadow there. And there we go. And I can actually make a new layer. I don't like how I did this little shadow here, so you can just go on your brush tool, right? Do like this, change the size, click once, but make sure it's on 0 hardness, you doofus. And then go to your opacity, do something like that, create a clipping mask. And we just made that a little bit lighter, a little bit easier on the eye, and that looks like a lot better. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do is actually just make another drop shadow on this one. A little bit stronger. There we go. Okay. So we still have some more elements to add towards this document. So what we can do then is to make a new layer. Press T for our text, press B for our brush tool again, and bring up this similar brush that I've been using throughout the tutorial. I'm going to do a really nice red, or actually, because of my one is yellow, I will have a yellow. Okay, so then do something like this. Do the size of this one actually. Okay, that's a lot better. So I'm going to do that and then click a bunch of times on here, so I get that brush, and then cut this one over, something like that. Do an opacity. Let's do a different brush now. And then let's do another little brush here. Just add like the abstract feels, you feels me cuz. So dude. Okay, great. So then after that, what I'm going to do is add in the text. So here, so I made that little area so I can do some text effects. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab up my text, use the same type of style, and do white, and then type here my YouTube channel name. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So /Ace Design 107. Change this one as different size. Right click, press Ctrl T, resize this one down. Something like that. But I think that's too bold, so I'm going to do semi-bold. Just Ctrl T, resize. There we go. And press Ctrl T on this one also, resize this one. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the YouTube icon from my icon pack. If you want that, it's available in my store, so you can go ahead and download that one. So it should be in my folders. Sorry, I'm really tired, guys, now, because I've been recording and I do it in all one cut. So, like, it can be a pain in the ass sometimes. And I can't find my folders. And this hard drive is pretty organized, so it's not my fault. Icon pack, there we go. Okay, so social media icons, YouTube play button, I know it's called. Not that one. YouTube play. Move this one down here. Okay. delete that, press Ctrl T, move this onto this area a little here. Right, click do blending option and do a color overlay red. I'm gonna do a dark. Actually, I'm gonna do a red and then go to my gradient overlay and do a gradient, so from color to transparent, and do a black over this one. So that's something like that. Click on that and do the color like that. Go back to my gradient, change the opacity, and then we've got something, you know, not too bad coming along here. And I'm actually going to click in here, do my color there, fill in this little area. Fuck, I can't like get this little selection in here. Okay, there we go. And just change the opacity. Okay, sweet. So then we can, this is going to be our brush underlay. I'm just going to organize some of this stuff. So this is going to be my YouTube logo. This is going to be my YouTube text, so I can do no color. And then once we have done that, we are going to add in some more particles and do some little bit more, you know, layer styles, background, and then we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab up a layer stock from Chrome. Just let's type in sun crayon art PNG. Okay, sun crayon art PNG, something like this. But we needed, you know, the crayon texture, you know, that rich one. See, that one would be alright, but it's taken on a fucking angle. See, like that texture. Let's try it with the. Oh, we can't because of. Yeah, we can't. We need a PNG. It's too much effort. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'll take that. It's not a PNG, but we can work with it. Save that under as sun. Go to File, Open. In my stocks, this is my sun here. We can delete this in our document once we drag it in. There we go. Press Ctrl T, found my layer. Just resize this one. Okay, and take some of that away. Take some of that away. Take some of that away. Take some of that away and press Ctrl U and go up to my lightness and do it like it's drawn on there. So then we've got that like little texture there. So then I'm also going to go ahead and grab on crayon line scribble. It's double O, isn't it? Double B, yeah. What line are we gonna do? I'm just gonna grab this one. Right click it, go to save as image. Save that as. Go to File, Open. Not browse and bridge. I really don't want that autism. I don't want it. Bam. You fuck your mum. Bam. Okay. Let's do that. I'm still recording. Yes, I am. Okay, so gonna bring this one in to my document. Now there is a layer style that we can use, so to get rid of the white. So I'm just gonna scroll through and find that one with my arrow keys. I'm going through, and it is linear burn. I found that out. It's just like screen, but you know, for white, because screen's for black. Okay, gonna press Control U, change the hue of this one to a yellow, I guess, or a blue. Yeah, we could do a blue. Do the lightness, bump it right up, so it's just like being erased, and then there we go. Then I'm going to make a new layer under here, go to my brush size, do 2, and let's do this one, this, and then I'm just going to do some like little patterns, like a 2-year-old. Yeah boys, this is graphics design 101, draw like a 2-year-old and get 1,000 views on YouTube. Okay, and change the opacity on this one. Something like that. And then we can just simply erase some of these little areas if you don't like them. I actually don't like this little section, so I'm going to redo this one. Don't like scribbles. That's new. See guys, so after like some really, you know, layers, this piece actually comes together quite nicely, and yeah, so that's what I thought. And with the type letters, if you want to do a drop shadow, you can do that. That's what I'm going to do, just to bring out that L, just to make sure that people can see the tape. Something like that. Go to right click, go to copy layer style, and paste that on the E. The E might need some more, you know, some more pronunciation. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I did. And then there we have that, something like this. So then what you can do is do some like final little touches by adding in some particles, and then we should be done for this tutorial. I'm not going to be doing too much detail. You can go ahead and like add in all these different like types of stationary stuff, but that's not like up to, like, I've shown you what you can do, like what's the potential with this banner, and it's up to you if you want to go ahead and take that to another level, if you know what I mean. So let's do a size of the brush 1000, and let's do some black ink. I'm going to go ahead and get some blue ink and do that there. Get some of those splotches in. Let's do some yellow ink. This is with the brush set. You'll need to go ahead and download one online, unfortunately. Nothing too big. Don't do like big, you know, big splotches in that, because that'll just ruin the piece. This is just final detail, man. Like, this stuff like really adds to the effect. And you can obviously take away the stuff that you don't like. But I'm actually feeling that. So there we go. We have done that. And that's basically it for the tutorial. You don't really have to do much else. You can do this zero saturation, and that's like another way you can like have an option. So let's do Control U, do zero saturation, and one that's zero, one that's not. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching the tutorial, guys. I really do appreciate you sticking around this long. I know that my commentary skills really do fall off like past the 15-minute mark, it's really hard to maintain energy. I need like some energy drinks or that, but I don't drink energy drinks, so there's my little dilemma. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for watching the video. If you haven't left a like, make sure you do so. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so also, and also leave a comment below, because I love to see what you guys thought of the video. Anyway, I'm proud to make another videos, guys, and yeah, thanks guys, you have a great day. Peace.